Hello and welcome to Spring Banner Forge Lines Forever. I'm back casting and Zock is back playing. Here he is as Cybro versus Whiteheart, who is Patrick. Pacharico, Fluffy Tails, etc. You know who he is. The man to complain to about T3 balance patch, as well as me of course, but can also complain to him just for a change. Or just send wonderful loving remarks. That's good too. So Theta Passage 5. Both players doing the same opening, which is what basically everyone does. So you go factory, P-gen, and you make the P-gen. So you think, oh well, I can just make no P-gens because I have a Hydro. But people make the P-gen because then you make the P-gen and then you grab this mix and you grab this mix. That way the first engineer can grab this mix and this mix, and the second one goes to Hydro. So getting the P-gen lets you get your 4 mexes faster, basically. Otherwise the first guy has to run to the Hydro, and your AC will be... Otherwise your AC would be there, be at the Hydro, chilling, doing nothing before the engineer gets there. So, labs are coming out. They got a scout with them. There's only 2 labs. Not the classic 3 lab combo capable of defeating a potentially infinite number of T1 tanks. Assuming your opponent just... well... 3 is the classic number. 2 versus a Tham, that's gonna be not the most difficult fight, but not the easiest either. This Tham is gonna get some sick raiding done. The labs at the bottom, dodging back and forth, avoiding the Tham fire. 1 HP. Celine doesn't have the DPS to do what it needs to. Tham gets 1 kill and 2 engineers go down. So, excellent stuff. 1 lab bites the dust, the other runs for the hills. Look at this dodging. One thing to note is the rating that Zock has managed to farm. A lot of it has been farmed off of Nexus. Shout out to him. 2486 in this game. If I look currently at FAF, he did actually break 2500. Oh, he's actually at 2502 right now. Pretty disgusting. But you can see he's just microing all these units. Tryharding, getting all the advantages. Expanding to the left with the ACU, trying to secure that. Getting NGs. You often see a PD here. It's a defensive PD, but it's very difficult to stop raiding on this map. You know, it's small, so if a unit gets past, well, it's pretty easy to get a unit past somewhere because the map is obviously almost completely open. It's flat with just a couple hills and these plateaus, which are not really major features. Patrick just doesn't give a fuck. He's just gonna walk into the base. He knows where the ACU is. Knows that there's an air factory. So he should have the land advantage. The bomber hasn't killed anything yet. This engineer dodged. And yeah, he's just gonna put pressure. It's forcing all the units to stay in the base and react. And actually, Zock looks like he wants to maybe cut off Whiteheart. He's actually bombing the ACU. And that's a bit of a tell that maybe he's going for the kill. His left flank is, Zock's left flank is completely exposed. There's no units over there whatsoever. Petrick, even while being bombed by 2 bombers, sending quite a lot of units to the left. He can see that there's nothing here. Actually, he has very good radar coverage. So AA is being sent to the right, and all the reinforcements being sent to the right. A few units around here looking to do all the raiding. If he survives this and raids everything on the left, you gotta feel he's at a big advantage. Zock has reduced the health of Petrick quite a lot now. Under 7k, 6.5. Zock's still almost at 9. Petrick shooting the units, always what you want to do. Zock, because he's going for the kill, he was aiming at the ACU, but he just doesn't have enough reinforcements, I think. Petrick on 14 kills, Zock only on 6 because he was focusing so much on the ACU. And yeah, huge raiding problem for Zock. He committed a huge amount and got about 5k damage on his opponent's ACU out of it, while losing his entire left expansion. Get some of the reclaim that he can. Missed a bit, but it's gonna help him. Has to be careful. And now the job is to expand as fast as possible. It's also manually reclaiming on the way. Look at this. I mean, people could do this. It's not too hard to just click on some wrecks, but it takes a 2500 player to actually do it, I guess. And of course you have to do everything else well enough that it actually matters that you reclaimed some tanks. That's the real problem. But it looks real good for Petrick right now. And I am planning to just cast, like, say, I think it's like 5 games they played this particular night. I'm just going to cast them all in a row. So actually I'm kind of just warming up my casting, and it's kind of interesting as well to see what a series of games looks like between 2 players. Previous games do inform the latter ones, especially if you're playing on the same map. So if we look at tank numbers, got like 50 for Petrick, similar, very similar for Zock. A huge score disadvantage, total mass disadvantage. So where's all the mass gone? Well, Whiteheart has 220 more power, so he should be getting air control. He should be able to use any mass reclaim he gets, and eventually could be, well, it's going to be a lot easier for him if he wants to make the gun, and also, well, any kind of teching up will be easier. Right now Zock is just moving in, stealing reclaim, trying to get some vet as well. Petrick is a bit afraid with ACU. It's kind of bad moving out of range there, while his units eat a lot of fire. Bombers come in. Ooh. Those are a couple sexy bombs. Lots of damage. Raids being cleaned up here. This hole in the radar is kind of triggering me, but he's catching the shit that comes his way. Get some shots off on Zock. And yeah, this reclaim field is the battleground now. While Zock reclaims his left side expansion and also is making a bit more power. Whiteheart taking a lot of damage here actually. You can see if he missed position for just a few seconds, he can let the ACU, and say he had like 10 tanks shooting at the ACU there, and all that's shooting back is one ACU. It's a lot of extra DPS that Zock was doing, and Petrick immediately, you can see he's trying to do the same thing again. Same thing as what Zock did just a second ago, which is ACU's out a bit, send the tanks forward, get as many of them as in range as possible, try and get some damage on the ACU. So often those T1 battles can end up like that, where it's just both players diving back and forth with their armies, with the shift G thing especially, trying to just get that extra damage on the ACU and not give away too much of that to their opponent. Lots of reclaim here, and we have a NG's being built here specifically just to reclaim this field. Good raiding on the left. Zock has not been raiding. I don't see people build walls at all.
Commander under attack.
I mean, some walls here is pretty sick when you already have a PD for them to run into. But yeah, he's more focused on getting all this reclaim. There's quite a lot here as well for the taking. Hydra on the expansions are very valuable.
Commander under attack.
One of the reasons Whiteheart has such a power advantage is that he has his hydrocarbon. Zock does not have his second hydro. Zock being pushed way to the right now. He has a tank disadvantage, and all this reclaim on the top is just easily grabbable now for Petrick. So Zock will have to come back. He's continuing to farm vet very efficiently. On his second vet now, 42 kills. Petrick not doing so well. It's about half or even less of what Zock has done in terms of unit damage. You gotta say this micro from Zock is a lot better with his ACU. It's one of the reasons he's still kind of in this game, and now he gets a raid off on the right. And again, the units dive in, but still Zock doing huge damage. 57, 58 kills, heading towards his third vet now. Petrick is making this hard on himself. He's now killed the whole left side though, and he's started to upgrade the gun. He has air control, unsurprising given the power situation, but he's also getting raided heavily now on the right. It's a large force which he's not going to be able to stop with these guys. And these mantis here have raided well. All land production paused to try get this gun done. And that might be really bad for him if he... Ooh. See how many units he has. Very few. He has like 40 T1. And 10 of them are arties. So,
Commander under attack.
let's see. 25 tanks right now, and they're spread at 3 different locations. The gun is done. But he's moving in. Oh, no, no. See that one order where he's just moving in the wrong direction for like 3 seconds, 4 seconds, and Zock pounces, sends all his units in. He has a big HP advantage. Petrick is going down. He won't die here. Won't die. He should be able to get away. Oh, the control K from Zock to give him the draw. Petrick on 24 or 40, I think, HP, something like that. So ACU explosion does 2500. So Zock just got off that one blast. Brought Petrick down to 24. And he died to the ACU explosion. It's a pretty nice draw. Good, very good comeback from Zock to actually steal a draw there. He was looking pretty lost after that initial push to try and seemingly trying to kill Petrick. But he just didn't have enough units, didn't have enough DPS. Got a good HP advantage out of it, but he lost his entire left side, so really well done to come back from that. And I'll move on to the next game, which is on Sirtis. Seraphim versus Cybran. First time I even see this. Yeah, the map pool can hide maps for a long time from you. It's quite amazing, really. So let's speed up the beginning. Sirtis, obviously classic map, and this looks like, I think that's the crazed build order, which is no PGens. You get the 2 mexes and then you go build a hydro. Because you can get this mass reclaim, which is basically under all the cliffs on the map have stones. So Zock gets his first factory done before Petrick on the plateau, the edge building, which is, well, it's just the best way to build on this map. Is to get your land factory up here fast so you can expand faster. You have fast access to new reclaim fields, and also faster unit production towards your enemy's vulnerable expansion. So you can see, usually you get 2 factories up here. You can go for 3 or even 4 if you're feeling frisky. Zock going for 3. And we just have, you know, reclaiming going on here. Expansion. No tanks, no scout, so this is just fucking not advisable. Not sure what the dealio is without not even making a scout here. He could just get raided, lose all of his engineers to labs, fast mantis. Like if Zock made mantis straight away out of this factory instead of engineers. But usually, yeah, people make engineers out of this first edge build factory. Get the reclaim, get that eco boost, because the trees are pretty nice. The rocks are pretty nice. They have build power to build some more factories. But it looks like this extreme greed and yeah, not gonna be punished right now, but now we do have a lot of spam coming up. So perhaps he's just delaying the punishment. Yes. He sent his inties chasing an air scout and he's probably gonna get punished for that. Patrick looking to catch those inties, but he's kind of late. Well, no, actually he's in behind all three of those. And he wins air control convincingly. Now the mantis pour into the back. This engineer goes down. This engineer is gonna go down, and probably the mexes as well. At least some of them. So it's at this point that we'll probably just see the mantis. You can just kind of leave a mantis in any kind of corner, and then they come back to expand. You send a scout over and try snipe those engies again with hidden mantis. Instead, Zock just going to continue pushing forward with these guys. Kill this engie who's reclaiming. This is all denied right now. He goes to just stand in an obscure spot where he may not be seen. On the other side, he actually just is slower to the expansion. I don't know if he lost an engineer that was expanding here. I don't see a dead engineer there. It could just be that he's slow, but Patrick is gonna speed up his re-expansion. But again, Zock using those hidden mantis, and this guy goes down. Using the transport is very good because of that air fight he won earlier where Zock was chasing the scout. Then he's able to just quite safely make that transport, and he could even drop right now. I mean, this would be actually one of the best times to drop is right now. You just grab a few tanks. And even on the Seraphim transfer, you can fit a lot of tanks. You can fit 8 T1. And if you just drop this expansion right now, it's an excellent time because there's no factory up. There's no radar. He's only just grabbed the mexes, so this is actually an extremely effective time to drop. Zock. Well, I've missed Whiteheart basically getting all of the mid-mass, and Zock's ICU is instead on the top looking to take these mexes, get some raiding done on the left, perhaps stop this reclaiming going on here. And he started the Tech 2 Air HQ upgrade. One T2 mech for Zock, 1, 2, 3 T2 mechs for Patrick, and fourth one being assisted. It's almost done. This bomber doing a lot of damage. And this left hand side is not raided. That's pretty bad. Well, let's not say pretty bad. Maybe would have been a better place to send this army instead of just doing half damage to a land factory. You just come over here, kill this land factory, kill the mexes. He knows the factory's there as well. Patrick drops his tanks here, So many tanks. It's a whole army of tanks on this one T1 transport. Kills 2 mexes and it's gonna redrop where he can do even more damage. It's really annoying to have to send tanks way the hell back to the back of the base. PD goes up. It's gonna defend OPD here as well, so there's definitely no chance to raid that anymore really. And the ACU is falling. Patrick also starting T2 air. He's finished his T2 land factory. He's also got T2 on his ACU. These tanks, he actually picked them up and re-dropped them all the way back to here, which is interesting. Cost him the transport, some could just run back there, I guess, but either way, he got another kill on a mex. A lot of air factories planned. T2 power is just finished. And Zock still has the map control. That's really the compensation he got for not getting mid, was more map control. Unfortunate that he hasn't grabbed any of this mass or these mexes. But he does have these mexes, which is nice, and these two here. And he's gotten quite a lot, almost all the reclaim here as well, so that's not bad. Maybe if you add it up, it would make up for losing all the mid mass, but I'm not entirely sure. Now we have the Ilshis out. We have a lot of gunships. Well, we got 5. That's quite a lot. We have flax out. We have air. And Zock has a mass income advantage despite having... Well, they actually have the same T2 mexes now. You can see Zock's caught up. He has 4. And this bottom side is being raided. PD is stunned. And Mantis are quite good at actually shooting over the walls. So when you have a few Medusa and you stun that stun the PD, it works pretty well. But Patrick was not ready for the gunships. He knows the HQ is there. I think he even lost some units to the gunships, but he had absolutely no flak with them. And he dies. Well, that's... Yeah, if you've ever watched Zock, he's very good at sniping. Or, yeah, he tends to snipe a lot, picks the right time, picks the right unit. And Patrick is also very good at getting sniped, so it's really a match made in heaven. Oh, how did I get to that screen? So let's try the next game. Now this is on a map we all wish we weren't familiar with. Now that it's in the letter pool, we wish we could forget. And that map is Flooded Niflheim. Yes, Flooded Niflheim. It's in the ladder map pool. Apparently the reclaim is also imbalanced, so I haven't tested that, but maybe we'll see if that is the case. So you've got a shit ton of mass on this map. You get a hydro, you get a base here, you get a base here, There's a base here, and there's a base here. Reclaim on the top plateau as on the normal Niflheim, except it seems like there's some more just randomly scattered there. And several underwater mexes and a couple underwater hydros. So what you do is make a transport very quick because you're right next to this expansion here, which gives you a land access to your opponent's base. So you can't stop this transport basically. It's almost impossible to stop this transport because you're so close to where you're dropping. So you definitely want to drop your opponent's the far side. Navy, you want to get some fast navy, but you don't want to be spamming like 6 naval factories instantly or something. It's probably, I mean, you can do that, but it's going to be dangerous if your opponent is building a land base here. It's also going to restrict your ability to build a land base here. Here comes Zock's transport. And Patrick just has no engineers to drop. Oh, he's already dropped actually, of course. See, the other reason you want to drop here every time is because there's just a massive field of mass reclaim to grab as well to set off that base and get it going. And you also get a hydro, so it's like just fucking pure money. 4th naval factory coming up, and the ACU goes left for Petrick. Zock's ACU going to the right. See, basically the same idea for both of them. Petrick is a bit faster on his base though. He also dropped an NG to the top, which is good. You want to steal this mass. 3 mechs is not to be sniffed at all. And I mean, if you actually took this plateau from your opponent, it would be pretty nice. But that's going to be tough, given the distances involved. Subs are the order of the day on this map as well, because underwater mechs. Every mechs obviously in the water is underwater. And so frigs can't do shit about them, so you want to get subs. So we'll probably just see only subs. Yep. I heard a bomber drop, but I don't know where. Oh, it's dropping on a frigate. Poof. PD goes up. You gotta protect yourself against the ACU. A lot of factories planned. So you look at this map and you'd think T2 Navy, that's the key, that's the game ender here. And I mean, T2 Navy is probably going to end the game if you get to it. But you gotta deal with these land bases first, and it's not easy. It's not easy. The land spam is pretty slow setting up on the bottom side, and the ACU is just taking ridiculous amounts of damage to a few T1 tanks. Not the best micro from Petrick. Get some kills, but he's lost like 6k HP almost. Zock on the top, moving up. Has Medusa, it's what you're always going to need, and he has a very forward land production, which is good. It's going to help a lot. These fucking floaty boys retreat to the water where they can't be touched. Petrick again taking damage. It's actually pretty bad. Medusa's all landing in his face. not to be sniffed at. It's doing quite a bit of damage. 3,500 HP now. And subs in the water next to him, so kind of want to leave. T2 air from Petrick and from Zock. So very, again, symmetrical game. They both know what's good. Whiteheart, it's really painful to actually be on HP like that. Like he just can't. There's no hope for him to kill this base. Like there's now 9 factories up, 9 factories, and not much of a mass stall either. So that's some serious production. If you look at his production, it's very far away and it's 3 factories, so he's not adjusting to the amount of spam that's going to come out of these factories, unfortunately. He doesn't have any AC upgrade. He only has three over here, so it's kind of shocking that Zock hasn't killed this, but he has actually paused a lot of production. I think he wants to focus on this land production, so he's paused some on the top where he would need a lot more tanks to actually be able to just push in, or perhaps he'd need gun upgrade. Now he feels like he has an advantage on the bottom, so pauses these factories so he can actually maintain the advantage, increase it, get something out of it. So there's a lot of mexes to deny here if he can actually push. He's meeting very little resistance on the land, but there are 3 gunships overhead now. We have this insane sub spam. That's what happens when you only have subs. What is happening? Oh, Petrick getting attacked by 4 Corsairs. That was probably not the best use of them. It looks like he just dodged almost all the damage there. So, to be fair, good dodging, good dodging. Tech 2 Navy on the way. Plenty of assist. And Zock leaves without achieving the crushing, dominating victory that he really ought to aim for here. There's only 3 factories. He could have done something there, in my opinion, but I guess he's leaving because of the T2 air threat. That would be my guess. Oh no. Where are the torp bombers? This factory is so vulnerable. He's 77%. And he has nothing to kill the subs. It's fucking... Oh my god. That's like 80% or more. So he lost, you know, maybe 1,400 mass invested there. It's just gone with no return whatsoever. So that's fucking rough. Damn. He also has now 0 naval production, while Petrick has finished C2 Naval HQ and has air control and has units on the top where Zock has none, and the units on the bottom look quite even. There's some arty abuse on this hill. Shameful display. Zock's not happy with this game. Not happy at all. Yeah, this is just vicious. Whatever about any other things that happened during the game, that's just fucking losing that Tech 2 HQ that's almost upgraded. just because he had no torp launcher. Or, well, there's one. I'm not sure when that one died, but if he had two, if he had two, it's hard to lose like that. Doesn't feel good. The next game you'll be so pleased to hear is on the same map. So let's see how they play it the second time around. I will say when these guys are playing, they just seem to constantly get this map and Farce. Farce in the Forest, which is Lumberjack Simulator 2017. Just grab all the trees. Ah, you see, some of this mass is doubled on the bottom. So I think this is the spot with the extra mass. I have to get this map removed, haha. Air factory going up top. Naval factory already completed. See a scout and an inti. Expansion. A land factory instead going for Zock. I think a land factory makes more sense here because you're very likely to have land factories built up here by your opponent, which you can't deny initially. So you wanna have something where that can actually build some units, some land units. Patrick already on the transport, dropping 3 here and 1 above, and then gonna return home. Zock with the inties is already, well, he's just too late, but he could perhaps kill this inti and the transport trying to hide, but he should be spotted. Yeah, Zock has him locked. Easy peasy. But again, ooh, Zock sending his ACU to the opposite side. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Just shut up for a second there. I don't think Patrick will have seen that. Subs again. On the way. So you can see not a huge amount of naval build power, because really the mexes are very spread out, which makes them nigh on impossible to actually defend effectively. And it's also not so easy to just deny all your navy, because you can build in several spots, and even if you lose the navy, I mean, that's going to be bad, but there's still hope for a win in other ways on the land and in the air. And also, even if you kill navy, you probably just have subs at that point, which can just be torped in a single pass. Problem was, in the last game, Zock lost in essentially all areas at once, which was just brutal. The lab's gonna deny that engineers coming out of the factory, and then the tanks will roll in afterwards. See, this is basically sufficient. Like, if a THAM comes out, let's see how this THAM does. The important point is not to like target fire anything, except maybe the radar would be worth killing. But right now, THAM comes out. THAM actually got a kill, but that's it. And now the Mantis are here, so this should be the top plateau secured. You can see Patrick pauses the factory because anything coming out of it is just going to die. Zock didn't leave the water. I don't think Patrick knows he's here. Although he doesn't see him on the top, so maybe something will click in his mind that he hasn't seen a commander on the top. He's adding a bit more land spam than last time, but still, it's not huge. Lots of power being built, and T2 air being built as well. Torp launcher, that he has to know. This has to. Oh no. That's a lot of tanks, and they're now fucking with its pathfinding. Zock's ACU emerges from the water, shakes his hair around, and makes his way towards the Seraphim commander. There's little roaches under his feet, and this looks real bad. He has no units. There's an ACU in range of him now. Calm. He didn't know. Unfortunately, he didn't realize. There were some clues. This Torp launcher, he did scout here and could have noticed there's no ICU there, but that's real easy for me to say. Zock just wanted to hug. The hug of death. So that's one way to win a game. Just hide in the water and emerge. You can see he actually started the gun and then thought, well, no need for the gun. So he got up a massive, pretty massive land spam there, which was nice. And then Petrick didn't have any radar. Well, he had radar, but it kept switching off because he was low on power. So he didn't really spot the number of units. Didn't spot that they were closing in. So this map is Pelagial. And it is 20x20, but it's quite quite a lot of empty space around the sides, so it certainly plays differently to say Roanoke. Say Roanoke, the top island would be much further apart from each other. So this is a bit less spacious. Islands are close together, and you want to transport rush. These civ buildings are good to reclaim. I don't know how much they give, like 175 maybe, something like that. Let's see, 162 from that one. Transport over here, and Zock is moving, or Petrick is moving to the bottom island with his ACU, dropping the left. Zock, meanwhile, still in his base, building P-gens. NGs are all split up there to avoid getting wrecked by a bomber. And Hydra's capped. Mex is another factory. And we also will see naval. This is a pretty good spot to put the naval factory because you're very protected. Can also mess with pathfinding though if you have a few factories in here. So careful. Another drop here. What's on this one? Just more NGs, so he's gonna actually look to... Ooh, he's so much mass. He's gonna look to Maybe just build the base with the engineers and just fucking keep pushing with the ACU instead. There's a lot. Already has 4 factories up, building a 5th one on this the Zock, and that's real dangerous. Even though he hasn't sent his ACU. Oh, here comes the ACU now. A bit later. But I think these guys are feeling inspired from flooded Niflheim, and they're thinking, why not proxy base on this map as well? And they're both going for it with their ACUs in support. So yeah, this is too late. The PD is too late. That's a rip on that. Just building too many factories before the PD, and that's a rip on the entire island. He can even just kill some of these factories now, or at least pause them. It's already won, and the ACU is just like, oh, my job here is done. It's time for me to take my leave. I came, I saw, and my units won the battle for me before I had to do anything. On the other side, Zock has actually got a PD up. He's got 2 PDs up. But T2 Air from Petrig is gonna try and help him actually take this base. He needs to take this base as fast as possible, and it looks like he's going to be successful. PDs are going down, and once they do, he should be Gucci. He can just move in and reclaim the factories or something. But on the other hand, he has just lost air control, and his gunships are going to go down. Funnily enough though, he's already forcing just Sky Slammers out of these factories, so instead of fighting Mantis, he's fighting anti-air. That's pretty good, and he's actually using the wreck to build his own PD. That's pretty sexy. Nice move there. And so he will get this base, because the PD is in range of all of the factories. Ripperino. Also note he made less factories, but so many units just stranded on this island now. We need some T2 trans over here to just drop some units and wreak havoc. That would be pretty nice, because the units are kind of useless otherwise. T2 land upgrade is begun right here. So we're gonna have T2 naval is 50% done. T2 air was done a long time ago. It doesn't have a T2 PGen, which is surprising. 55 T1 PGens, that's a lot. See, a lot of adjacency there. That's why he has no T2 PGens. He has so many T1. Frigates can do a lot of raiding on this map. They're very annoying to deal with. Obviously, frigates also have AoE, which makes them pretty good versus T1 PD. So hard to defend against frigates. You can raid all these mexes on the side. These tiny islands are all the mexes are frig raidable. So I would advise doing that. Storm defense doing a great job. The factory is blocking the shots, which would be going towards the torp launcher. And the torp bombers are all cleaned up by Zock's air. Air looks pretty close, but certainly I think Zock just has an advantage. And he has a lot of gunships. And oh no, let's see. there's quite a lot of AA. We have a T1 turret, we have a lot of mobile AA, which is going down. And that's not working. Sky Slammers do a fantastic job. That was not enough gunships. See, if he had like, maybe if he had waited for like just 3-4 more gunships, then maybe it would look completely different. If he could actually kill the Sky Slammers fast enough, then he wouldn't lose his gunships. Still has enough DPS then to continue on, but as it was, that maybe 6, 7, 8 gunships he had were not enough for all those Sky Slammers. Interesting place to put naval build power, so you can see it, because it is so forward, he's protecting it with multiple torp defense. The first cruiser is out for Zock. No T2 Navy for Petrick. Also no T2 land. Where is that? What is that T2 land doing? It's building Wagners now. I don't see any Wagners anywhere though. Oh, here come the gunships. No ACU to kill, unfortunately, because he would kill him if he was still here, but he can kill everything else. And now we have the air fight. This is it. Win the air fight or probably lose the game, I think. And that's a loss, surely. It's kind of close, but not that close. These gunships are now probably gonna just go and kill this AA and then just kill the naval factory easily with all this navy and gunships. And yeah, that's that. Still disappointed we didn't see these units get dropped. There's so many units just waiting. But yeah. Yeah, you see, if that PD went up, if he had just queued the PD and then the extra factories rather than the other way around, I think then this would hold for at least as long as Zock held down here, if not longer. But maybe as long, you know. And then we wouldn't see Zock with that advantage there. Nice play from Zock. Sent his ACU and just didn't even have to use him. That was pretty fortunate. So nice game there, and I think we'll end it there. And hopefully I'll do more. I will do more videos soon. It's just a bit of a, it's just the start, the warm up. Cause damn, casting's hard. I feel like I'm rusty as fuck at it right now. So see how it goes. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time. I will be better. Swear down. See you guys.